Hello viewers, my dear student, welcome to online course on Mathematics 3 for engineering student. Myself Sanjay Vishwas, Assistant Professor of Mathematics, Applied Science and Humanities Department of Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. Here is the details of my contact information. If we have facing any difficulty regarding my online course, you can call me freely or send message with my mail ID sanjay.vishwas@gnit.ac.in. So the paper name of this course is Mathematics 3 and paper code is M301. So today we are going to talk about the complex integration, that means Cauchy's theorem and Cauchy-Goursat theorem on complex integration. This is my 5th lecture on online course. So here is the content of today's lecture. So before we start the today's lecture, so let's quickly recall the previous class. I have already discussed curve representation in complex plane. Then I have discussed some basic definition in complex plane, that is a simple curve, closed curve, piecewise smooth curve. After that I have discussed Riemann integration on complex plane and some theorem and example on Riemann definition of complex plane. So today we are looking for the Cauchy's theorem and Cauchy's Goursat theorem. So here is the content of today's lecture. So first we will talk about the Green's theorem. That is a statement of Green's theorem, only statement in plane. After that we will talk about state and proof of Cauchy's theorem, and then the advanced part of Cauchy's theorem, and this is actually the Cauchy-Goursat theorem I will talk about. And after that I will give some consequence of Cauchy's theorem and some related example of Cauchy's theorem as well as Cauchy's Goursat theorem. Let's start with the Green's theorem. So let here m and n be two continuous function and their shell derivatives are all continuous in a region R bounded by the closed curve C. Then integration over C, close integration over C, m dx plus n dy, and it will be double integration over R del n del x minus del m del y into dx dy. So this is the mathematical expression of Green's theorem. Integration over C m dx plus integration over m dx plus n dy is equal to double integration over R del n del x minus del m del y into dx dy, where m and n both function are continuous as well as their partial differentiation are all continuous in a region R, and it is bounded by the closed curve C. Okay, next we are going to talk about the Cauchy's theorem. So here is the Cauchy's theorem, statement of Cauchy's theorem. Let f of z be analytic function and f dash z is continuous at each point within the domain D, and D is bounded by the closed contour C. Then the integration over C fz dz is equal to 0. This is the definition of Cauchy's theorem. So in that case, function f of z is analytic, and as well as f dash z is continuous. Okay, so next we are going to talk about the proof of this theorem. So here is the proof. So let f of z is equal to u of x comma y plus I into b of x comma y. This is the complex function and in the Argand plane. So in the statement of Cauchy's theorem, where the function f of z is analytic as well as the f dash z is continuous. So now if f of z is analytic function, so you know, I have already mentioned in the second lecture, where the function is analytic, then it satisfies the Cauchy-Riemann equation as well as all the partial differentiation are exist. So by so here f of z is analytic, so that the Cauchy-Riemann equation or Cauchy-Riemann condition are satisfied, and the Cauchy-Riemann condition is del u del x is equal to del v del y. So the partial differentiation with respect to x for the function u is equals to partial differentiation with respect to y for the function v, as well as del u del y is equal to minus del v del x. Also f dash z is continuous. So you know, f dash z is a differential value of f of z, and f dash z is equal to del u del x. So this is the differentiation with respect to x. So and it will be del u del x plus I into del v del x. So now applying the Cauchy-Riemann equation, we'll get del u del x is equal to del v del y, and for del v del y we will put minus del u del y. So f dash z is either del u del x plus I into del v del x, or it will give del v del y minus I into del u del y. Okay, so u and v and their partial derivatives are all continuous within or on C. So this is the statement of the Green's theorem. So what is the statement of Green's theorem? In a Green's theorem where the both function are continuous as well as their partial derivatives are all continuous. Okay, so from that we have to find integration over C m dx plus n dy is equal to this double integration over r del n del x minus ln del y dx into dy. Okay, here the Green's theorem is applied. So integration over C f dz is equal to, so here fz is equal to u plus I into v, and dz is equal to dx plus I into dy. So integration over C fz dz is will gives integration over C u plus iv into dx plus I dy. So now separate the real and imaginary part of this function. We will get integration over C u dx minus v dy plus I into v dx plus u dy. Okay, so now separate these two parts or two integration. This is the properties of the integration, So integration over C u dx minus v dy is the first part, and the second part is I into integration over C v dx plus u dy. Okay, so now we can apply the Green's theorem on both cases. We'll get, so integration over u dx minus v dy, and it will be del v del x minus del u del y into dx dy, and the second integration will give I into double integration over d del u del x minus del v del y into dx dy when we apply the Green's theorem. Now we apply the Cauchy-Riemann equation. We will get del v del x is equal to minus del u del y, that is del u del y minus del u del y. This is the first part, and similar thing will happen on the second part. If we put del v del y is equal to minus del u del x. Okay, so in both cases we'll get the integral value are 0. So del u del y minus del u del y is 0, cancelling these two terms. Similarly, from this second integration we'll get the integral value is 0. So that is equals to 0. So hence the proof. Okay, next we are going to talk about the Cauchy-Borset theorem. So a famous mathematician, Borset, first established that the condition of continuity of f dash z is unnecessarily and provided the theorem without using the continuity of f dash z, and established a revised part or revised form of the Cauchy's theorem, and it is known as Cauchy's Borset theorem. So basically in a Cauchy's theorem we have seen that f of z is analytic function as well as f dash z is continuous. But in a Cauchy's Borset theorem, f dash z is unnecessarily tough. So integration over c f z dz is equal to 0 will be found if f of z is only the analytic function. There is no f dash z will be continuous. There is some note on Cauchy's Borset theorem. The above theorem is obtained called Cauchy's theorem. Also, the above theorem is valid for both simple and multi-connected domain. So after that we are going to talk about some consequences of Cauchy's theorem. So the first theorem is, if f of z is analytic in a simple connected domain D, then the integral of f of z along any path joining any 2 points of D, and D is the domain on the complex plane, is same. That means, say there are 2 points A and B, and there are 2 curves, say C1 and C2, and C1 and C2 two different paths, but the beginning point and end point are the same for 2 different paths. Then, and f of z is analytic, then for the different path the integral value are same. That is, integration over C1 f of z dz is equal to integration over C2 f z dz. Okay, where C1 C2 both are the curve in D and joining the 2 points. That means 2 same points. So A and B be 2 points, and say there are so many curves, and where the beginning and end point are the same, and these curves are not necessarily equal, then integration over C1 f z dz is equal to integration over C2 f z dz is equal to integration over C3 f z dz. Okay, so all the integral value are same for the different path, but the beginning and end point are equal. This is the first theorem of Cauchy's theorem. So after that we'll talk about the second theorem. So second theorem is very important for Cauchy's theorem. So let f of z be analytic function in the annular region bounded by 2 closed curves C1 and C2, where C2 is lies only within C1. That means, say C1 be a curve and C1 be the bigger than C2, and C2 is lies within C1. Okay, so the integration, close integration over C1 f of z, the value of close integration of C1 f of z dz is equal to close integration over C2 f z dz. So this value are same. So say C1 be a curve Okay, this is a curve, closed curve, and C2, C3, C4 are all the are closed curve, and C2, C3, C4, okay, like that are all is lies within the circle. Then from this theorem we will say close integration over C1 is equal to close integration over C2, where C2 is lies only within C1. Similarly, close integration over C1 f of z dz is equal to close integration over C3 fz dz, where C3 is the curve is the lies only within C1. Okay, so this is the theorem, the second theorem on Cauchy's theorem. So after that we are going to discuss about the third theorem. This is the third theorem on Cauchy's theorem. So let f of z be analytic within and on the boundary of the region bounded by the non-overlapping simple closed curve. So here is the curve. So C is the curve, okay, and C1, C2, C3 are all the different curve, and this curve all are lies within C. Okay, and these two, so all curves are the simple curve, not non-overlapping simple curve. And C1, C2 and up to Cn, so these curves are all lies in the curve C. Then close integration over C fz dz is equal to close integration over C1 fz dz plus close integration over C2 fz dz and up to close integration over Cn fz dz. Okay, this is the third theorem. After that we are going to talk about some formulas of Cauchy's theorem. So first formula, that is the proof actually. So integration over C dz by z minus alpha is equal to 0. Okay, so this integral value is 0 if C be the closed curve, and z is equal to alpha, this point. Okay, so this point is lies outside the curve C, or this is actually called the exterior point of C. So let's proof of this theorem or this formula. So here is the proof. As z is equal to alpha is an exterior point of C, so from this it will give fz is equal to 1 by z minus alpha is an analytic function. This is analytic within the region C, but in a complex plane fz is equal to 1 by z minus alpha is not analytic. Why? Z is equal to alpha is actually the singular point in the complex plane, but in that region this function is analytic. Why? Because alpha is the point is lies outside the curve C, not inside. If this point is lies inside the curve C, then I will say fz is equal to 1 by z minus alpha is not analytic, and from that z is equal to alpha is equal to alpha is a singular point. But if alpha is lies outside this curve, then I will say fz is equal to 1 by z minus alpha is an analytic function. Okay, now applying the Cauchy's theorem on from Cauchy's theorem, hence by Cauchy's theorem the integral value of C fz dz in the curve C. Okay, hence by Cauchy's theorem integration over C fz dz is equal to 0. So this is the Cauchy's theorem. So Cauchy's theorem is where the function is analytic as well as the function is f dash z is continuous, then close integration C fz dz is equal to 0. So here fz is continuous function as well as analytic in the region C. Then from this we will say and then applying the Cauchy's equations, will get the value of this integration, and it will be 0. Therefore, integration over c dz by z minus alpha is equal to 0.